having a digital asset in a MMO game, I think there's a huge potential there for it to grow into a massive market. It is likely that someday this could eclipse some GDPs of some countries. I think this will be the first experiment.
Yeah, Infinite Fleet is going to be different from the previous old type of blockchain game. Maybe could you tell me about the problems you see in blockchain games so far and how Infinite Fleet is different?
Sure. So I think most blockchain games are taking an approach where they want to put the blockchain at the center of it. So they want you to install a wallet. They want you to buy, Ether or something, and then transact in their currency. But the problem with that is that gamers aren't looking to play with a blockchain. They just want to play a game. So I think the more practical approach is to build a great game. And that's why for Infinite Fleet, we've assembled a team of AAA developers working at big studios from around the world. These are seasoned professional game developers. And what we're building at the core is a top-tier AAA MMO, massively multiplayer online game. And the crypto component is just a way to augment the main game, to make it better for the players. But they're not forced to install anything, write down a seed phrase, or buy some cryptocurrency to start playing. It's just you play the game. You can earn the utility token of the game. It's called INF. So it is a game currency. Players will earn it in the game, but the goal is that we don't want players to be killing monsters. Kill 10 monsters and you'll get some gold. It's supposed to be about participation. So what we want is that they participate in raids or missions, but it's all socially based. So you have to do something with other people together to kind of establish this social fabric. For large-scale raids, the rewards might be higher if the difficulty is higher. You might need thousands of players to attack an enemy stronghold and bring it down. And if you can do that, everyone that participated will get a small reward in INF. But what we're calling it is proof of participation. So you have to actually participate in the game itself, not just kill a monster or log in. It's a real work. And then if they choose to, they can withdraw it from the game. So most of the game transactions in auction house will be off-chain. So they'll just be done, like say, on a crypto exchange. But when they want to remove their currency, it is fully portable because it's issued on the Liquid network. So they can take that, send it to their friends peer-to-peer. They can send it to another crypto exchange. They can do whatever they want with it. And I think that confers a lot of benefits to the player because they have a fully portable currency. And there's also a privacy dimension to it too, because transactions in Liquid are confidential.
Talking about the blockchain game launched previously before Infinite Fleet. So they are kind of thinking too much about blockchain, I guess. And how that made them difficult to attract gamers and popularity?
Well, it depends. There's many different kinds of blockchain games. Some are focused on NFTs or collectibles or things like that. Some want to put the data into the blockchain and make things immutable. So I think there's a card game out there. They want to embed their data for their cards into a blockchain. But then those become untunable. And most games require balancing and tuning. So I used to work on games at Relic. It was a studio of THQ. And these are AAA RTS games. We're adding new units, and new units typically mean that you need to adjust the older units. Some might get buffed, some might get nerfed. But if all the unit data or card data is embedded into a blockchain, that means either you can either obsolete them and make them no longer usable, which also defeats the purpose of having like someone own, quote unquote, an asset on a blockchain, or they just become irrelevant because you can't tune them anymore. So I think there's a lot of problems with that kind of mentality. They're just broadly applying a blockchain to a game without really thinking through what the ramifications are.
Bringing crypto currency to the traditional online gaming industry, it's they already have big economy scale, right? But is it going to be bigger than that?
It's definitely possible. If you look at games like Fortnite, they can pull in billions in revenue, and that is not their currency is not a crypto asset. It's just purely a digital asset you buy, and it's not portable or anything. But if you look at other MMO games like World of Warcraft or EVE Online, they also have massive economies. But because they're not using a crypto asset, it's largely constrained to the game or because of their terms of service. So in World of Warcraft, technically, you're not allowed to trade World of Warcraft gold, but people still do it anyways. So I think this will be the first experiment where we see a large MMO game running at scale with a fully portable crypto asset. And it's a very interesting experiment, I think, to see what the players end up doing with it and how big it can grow. But the sky's the limit, really.
There's a problem with Linden Data, and that's inflation. The Second Life operator can adjust the amount of Linden Data at their own discrete.
Yes.
Can Infinite Fleet overcome that problem as well?
Well, we want to overcome that problem. So what we are going to do is issue a fixed amount. I think there's 1 billion INF that can be generated. And you have to trust that the company, in this case, the publisher of Infinite Fleet, is not going to issue more. But that is the intention and commitment at this time. So once that supply is exhausted, it's sort of like Bitcoin. It's limited. There will be no more. And the players might lose some and it might gain in value. We'll have to see. But the idea is that we don't want infinite currency printing. The game is infinite fleet, not infinite money.
How do you see the future of virtual reality-based economy? And how is that infinite fleet involved with it?
Right. So I think VR is still a ways off. Most people don't have a VR headset yet, and the technology is still a bit clunky. Either you're using say like an Oculus Quest, and that's very, very underpowered. It can be laggy if you're running something demanding. And then if you're not doing that, then you need a high-end gaming PC running a cable for the Oculus Rift or things like that. So I think we have a ways to go. I think the future is going to be more with tech like the Oculus Quest, whereas it's very lightweight. It needs to be lighter than that, I think. It's still, some people still consider it kind of heavy on their heads, but it needs to be lighter. It needs to be more performant. And then we'll see that VR market grow. But I think it's still very early for that. But having a digital asset in a MMO game, like I said earlier, I think there's a huge potential there for it to grow into a massive market. We'll probably be the first to do so, and then hopefully others will follow. But it is likely that someday this could eclipse some GDPs of some countries, just because gaming is a massive industry, and gamers are okay with the idea of digital assets. Now we're just giving them a crypto asset that is portable.
Cointelegraph. Like, subscribe, and hodl.